With 14 days left until Election Day, Vice President Kamala Harris, potentially the first female president, remains locked in a fierce battle with the first former president to be found liable for sexually abusing a woman. The crucial fault line of this election has come into sharp relief. It is about gender. Now, Democrats have been losing ground among a key voting bloc, men of color, particularly black men, for years. And the polls show that erosion will likely worsen this November. It is something President Barack Obama has repeatedly called out. Earlier this month, Obama asked black men in Pittsburgh if they just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. But it is not just black men. Young white men, especially those without a college degree, overwhelmingly support Trump. And Trump has expanded his outreach to non-college educated black and Latino men as well. Yesterday, I spoke to a group of black men at Kenny's Barbershop in West Philadelphia about the issue that might decide this election: gender. Obama made remarks on the campaign trail. He was at a stop, I think at Pittsburgh, right? And he said, I think there's some brothers out there who are on the fence, and they're saying it's because of this or that, but I think, I'm paraphrasing here, but it's because they have a problem electing a woman as president. And they're making excuses basically for that, but that's the issue. And black women have gotten our backs for so long. They've raised us up, you know, they've helped us out, and it's time for you to show up for Kamala. And I just wonder, for anybody who heard that, like, what they thought of that.
I was deeply offended. I was deeply offended. And it felt like a moment where it's like, you N-words better get in line and do what we say. And it felt like him as the czar of the Democratic Party coming down to say, go get these N-words in line. And the general tone of it was disgusting. It was abhorrent. I don't respect it. I didn't like nothing about it. And Kamala, 2 days after that, is like, we love our black men. We have programs and things that we're rolling out for them, and she rolled out policy.
Good cop, bad cop. You know, because
I'm tired of the good cop, bad cop. I'm tired of it.
Black men have to be there for black women in the same way that black women have always been there for us as single parents, all that and more. And what he was ultimately trying to say is, like, by not voting for Kamala Harris over basically somebody as a clown, it's almost like as a general disrespect.
But she's not the only person on the ballot.
Women are discriminated against. Women are treated differently.
As people who, every day, all day long, we are having conversations across the city, in all these states. I was having conversations last Thursday, and there was a young man, just turned 18. We got him registered to vote. He went and voted after the conversation, but he led his conversation with, I can't vote for Kamala because women are emotional. And many young men, so we all here as grown men.
Opinion of 118.
It's not one. You're missing the point. You're missing the point.
Women are discriminated against. I manage athletes. They're treated like objects. Women are paid less. We can't act like women are not treated unfair. Hold on, wait, let me finish. We can't act like there's not some truth in what he is saying.
I mean, Michelle Obama gave Barack a lot of credibility, because if he'd have marched a white woman across the stage, he'd still be in Chicago.
Right.
So it's a lot. Barack had characteristics that gave him outs. It's easier. She's married to a white man. Yep. She's mixed. Yep. She's got a dicey history. They got pictures of her glamorous. She looks good. And you know what they say? You know, they give her the dumb blonde energy. It's much easier. It's much easier to get your jokes off. And everybody cracking up, thinking it's funny, laughing. And when it's easier to get your jokes off, it just is. And it's unfortunate that, like, we grew up in a culture where those are sort of things that we talked about.
While Trump is eating into the Democrats' lead with black voters, the men I spoke to were quick to point out that black men, young and old, still overwhelmingly support Harris. The real issue, they say, lies with other voting blocs.
So I know everybody's saying the black men is the biggest shift in numbers. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm calling bullshit on that. I don't believe it. Polls can say polls, all that stuff can say what it can say, but when it's time to go vote, right, like, every year it's us.
We are not the issue, but we became the issue after Trump made a play for us when nobody was talking about us. But at the same time, we can't pretend that it hasn't become a popular talking point amongst black men in media who feel like they want to be provocative and drive up their likes and things like that. Like Charlemagne is in the commercial. He's in the commercial talking about Kamala. And now it's cool, but he's literally and it's like, and it's popular, and we have to recognize that,
Antonio Brown.
that like Antonio Brown, it's popular. People calling her a whore, talking about her history, and when I walk in the barbershop and I hear people saying these things, I'm like, oh, you bugging, dog? What they got to do with anything?
But if the goal is to win the race, we gotta put some pressure on white women, bruh. We gotta put some pressure on the Latino community.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, as it concerns the Latino community, this morning I joined Victor Martinez, the Allentown, Pennsylvania-based radio host with a massive Latino listenership, and I joined him live in studio where I got to speak to voters directly about whether Kamala Harris's gender might guide their decisions at the ballot box.
Let's see what the people have to say.
Let's hear it.
Hello, buenos dias.
Kamala Harris being a female kind of concerns me a little bit. She's still going to get my vote, but it concerns me a little bit because over the generations and years of our lives, I have never really seen a woman, other than Hillary Clinton when she ran to become a president. But I am concerned a little bit about, the fact that will she be able to run this country the way a male had done it over the decades? Will she be able to, stand on her own 2 feet and kind of deal with this situation, being that we have Putin and so many other presidents outside of this country, another country that have such a great relationship with Donald Trump?
First of all, she's a strong woman. She's a prosecutor, or ex-prosecutor. She became a state senator. She's very strong on her policies, and she stands strong. With fear of other leaders of the United States, looking at her like she's a woman, I don't think that's going to be a problem because she knows how to negotiate.
I just feel that because she's a woman, I think she's going to be treated different. Her word is not going to be out as much as a man for some reason, which I don't think is right. But I feel that that's going to happen a lot.
Do you have friends that are not going to vote for her because she's a woman?
I have a lot of coworkers. I have neighbors around here. Just because she's a woman, she don't know what she's doing. And I'm like, a woman is a woman and a man is a man. It just doesn't matter what are you. As long as you know what you're doing, it doesn't really matter what are you.
This listener is writing on Facebook that the reason why we get those calls for people who are scared is because they hear from the media and they hear from Trump how weak as a country we are. We are weak. We are weak. And so that together with a female, the perception that females are weaker than men. So that's point.
Fascinating. That's a super fascinating point.
I mean, the phones are ringing. People want to talk about it. I could tell you that I've been doing this for 30 years. I've worked in different markets. The level of engagement from the Latino community like this, wanting to talk about, wanting to express themselves, wanting to participate, I have never seen it to this level.
Interesting.
I will go even further. I will dare to say, at least within the Latino community, that people are more engaged now than when Obama was running. I think it's the drama.
The drama.
And with Latinos, we like telenovelas.
This is one hell of a telenovela.
Yes. I will leave you with this. You may hear a lot of Latino men being very macho and, I like Trump. I would like to see how many of those Latino men are influenced by their wives and by their daughters.
Or their mothers.
Because we Latino love to say that we're the boss and we're the man. But seriously, how many wives and how many daughters are going to look at their husband and their father on election day or when it's time to vote
and say, are you serious?
And say, exactly, don't you dare, are you serious? And how much, again, from the mouth out and from the door out, they're, but inside, once you're with your wife, once you're in with your daughters, how many of those guys are going to be influenced by them?
In an effort to focus on exactly the phenomenon that Victor Martinez is describing there, the Harris campaign recently launched this ad. It is part of Harris's $3 million Spanish language radio campaign.
Bueno, sé que te gusta Donald Trump.
Ay, mija,
¿Pero ves cómo insulta a los inmigrantes? Hombres como tú. Nos falta el respeto. Mira lo que le hizo a los derechos de las mujeres. ¿Y si gana otra vez? ¿Cómo será mi futuro entonces? Papá, te necesito a mi lado.